Puffy's house. And they get all these videos of J-Lo doing this and J-Lo doing that. And they know the fact that J-Lo lied and said that the gun shines or whatever and sent that man to prison and destroyed his life. But she knew it was Puffy.
He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual.
For Lopez, when she's finally held accountable for the part she played in the harm that was put on Natanya Rubin's life.
Do you think they'll bring up charges on Jennifer Lopez?
They better.
Lopez. Regarding the latest spat between Sean Diddy Combs and Jennifer Lopez, or J-Lo, the entertainment world is buzzing with gossip and anticipation. There are reports that during an FBI raid on Diddy's home, embarrassing tapes featuring none other than J-Lo were confiscated. Let's look at the Hollywood star's future intentions and the origins of these reports. These recordings are supposed to provide new light on their relationship and maybe even link J-Lo to the horrifying 1999 nightclub shooting. During a purported raid on Diddy's house earlier this year, the FBI is said to have taken many tapes. These videos, purportedly featuring Jennifer Lopez, were produced while she was dating Diddy. According to reports, these recordings include anything from private moments to perhaps incriminating details on the 1999 nightclub massacre, a pivotal time in Diddy's controversial history.
Someone who destroyed my life.
Former rapper Moses Shine Barrow is speaking out in the wake of Sean Diddy Combs' arrest and federal indictment. Once Diddy's bad boy protege, Moses served nearly a decade in prison for a 1999 nightclub shooting in New York, where 3 people were injured. Diddy attended a party at the club with his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez and had also been arrested and accused of being involved in the shooting. However, during his trial, he said he fired the gun in self-defense and was acquitted of all charges. J-Lo was also arrested at the scene and was held for about 14 hours but was released without being charged. Moses, who is now the leader of the opposition in the Belize House of Representatives, claims he took the fall for Diddy and is now reflecting on his incarceration, calling Diddy someone who, quote, destroyed my life. In a press conference, the politician details their past relationship.
When I was a 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgive. Let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my...
Moses Shine Barrow, who took the blame after the nightclub shooting, spent more than 10 years behind bars.
Morning on December 27, 1999 in Manhattan, New York, shots were fired after an argument between Sean Diddy Combs and a man named Matthew Scott Allen. After the incident, rapper Sean, who was under Bad Boy Records, was arrested while Diddy and his girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, fled the club, but were eventually stopped by police and arrested. Lopez was released after 14 hours and was never charged in the case, while Combs and his bodyguard Anthony Jones were acquitted on weapons charges. Shine, on the other hand, was convicted of assault and gun possession and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Well, one of the victims in the shooting, Natanya Rubin, who has never changed her story since day one, has stated once again that it was Diddy, not Shine, who shot her in the face and got away with it. Rubin has insisted for years that Shine had unfairly taken the fall for Diddy.
I said it immediately. I literally watched them pull out the guns. For God's sake, I got shot in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur and have described it to all parties involved. I think in our society, we have respectability politics. There are people who want to be adjacent to power or celebrity or money. Because his name was more notable, he was believed rather than a victim who gave a first-hand account. By the grace of God, I say.
Rumors about Diddy and J-Lo's true degree of engagement have been circulating for years, despite the fact that they were seen at the club. In light of the most recent FBI raid, these suspicions have come back to life, suggesting that J-Lo could have been more involved than previously believed.
Conversation guest host Brian Eaton would mention that Rodney Jones, aka Little Rod, is suing Diddy for sexual harassment. The lawsuit would contain a quote that may implicate yet another notable name.
That fateful night in 1999, shooting broke out at a nightclub in New York City, injuring a number of individuals. Diddy and J-Lo, a prominent couple at the time, were the center of attention throughout the chaos. Diddy was accused, but he was finally declared innocent. Shine, on the other hand, was less lucky and had to serve time.
You make a good point. You might be right about that. But I gotta ask you about Shine. How you feel about him coming out, reacting to Diddy getting indicted? He made a comment that went viral. He said that Diddy ruined his life.
Well, Shine, what he said about him being an 18-year-old kid, he was right. He should have known better than to pull out that gun in the club and start shooting. Should have known better. Puff had enough security there, and that night, Wolf, his people, and a couple of security guards, if they needed to do that, let them take care of that. So he has to take responsibility for his own action, which I think he's done. Shine is a politician. They're gonna take money, they're gonna take trips, they're gonna take a lot of shit to help their political rise. Now, did Puff ruin his life? Yeah, because Puff helped the prosecute.
Maybe making J-Lo feel more guilty. If confirmed, this would significantly change the public's perception of J-Lo, who has mostly kept a clean image, despite her contentious past with Diddy. Suge Knight asserts that the leaked film has caused a significant strain in J-Lo and Ben Affleck's relationship. The couple is apparently experiencing issues after publicly reigniting their romance. Given that Affleck may have seen these films, there was a significant lot of enmity between the two. The likelihood that Affleck, having seen these films, created a tremendous deal of stress between the two.
Puffy's house. And they get all these videos of J-Lo doing this and J-Lo doing that. The fact that J-Lo lied and said gun was Shine's or whatever and sent that man to prison, destroyed his life. And she knew it was, I'm quite sure they probably called him, and the FBI gave that cursey call Ben Affleck. It's a white man who got the white world. I'm quite sure they said, we want to show you this about your wife. When he sees this shit that her and Puffy was doing and who they were doing it with, I'm quite sure they gave his ass those tapes. And I'm quite sure he can never look at her the same. I'm quite sure they heading for a divorce. Because, that's a man who had a good life. Great parents, don't spend a lot of money, ain't tripping out paparazzi. He living his life. He got his own. She done brought all the extra that month. He want out. He stayed married to J-Lo. He'd be instead of just doing movies, he'd be doing Yum Yum Donuts commercials. Next thing he'd be doing these Jack in the Box commercials.
It was recently confirmed that the pair was getting a divorce. These occurrences have heightened speculation that the cassettes had a significant role in their potential disintegration. The possibility that J-Lo is tormented by her relationship with Diddy is startling and unnerving to many who have closely followed her business and personal life.
J-Lo is just, I don't know. Every man she's been with has said the same thing, except for Diddy. Diddy's the only one that said she was a great girlfriend and how he wish he hadn't messed it up.
Nah.
How is that the only man in her life that had regrets about their relationship, but everybody else ran for the hills? Like, it's not nobody noticing that. That everybody else that's left her, oh, she was too this, she was this, she was that. But Diddy said she was perfect.
And maybe she was meant for the metal.
What happens if you're only perfect for the devil? What the f does that make you?
Adding fuel to the fire even more? Speaking from a prison cell, Suge Knight said that he was directly aware of the nature of the tapes and how it impacted J-Lo and Affleck's relationship. Knight's comments, which suggest that there is much more dangerous content on these tapes than what has been made public, have generated quite a stir.
The allegations are true. Who knew what? Who is being interviewed by the feds? Could any of these high-profile people face criminal charges of their own? Those are fair questions, because after all, Combs is accused of controlling a criminal enterprise that was engaged in the abuse of women, sex trafficking, forced labor, prostitution, the distribution of drugs, an organization that committed crimes like kidnapping, arson, bribery, obstruction of justice to carry out their goals. So you have to imagine there were people who were part of this and witnessed this. In fact, the government said that they interviewed over 50 witnesses and victims. But there is one name on that celebrity list that is standing out in particular right now. Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo. Why? Well, long before Combs was criminally charged, long before he was hit with multiple lawsuits accusing him of sexual assault, he dated the famous pop star and actress, reportedly from 1999 to 2001. Their first public appearance was September 1999 at the MTV Music Awards, and then the following year, when they were together, was where she wore that infamous Versace green dress at the Grammys. The couple were on red carpets together. They went to Combs' famous white party together. Big A-list couple. In fact, there is a photo of them together lying in a white bed with giant pillows, and in another photo they're in that same bed with other people. And one clip that has actually surfaced recently is of the couple in the show MTV Diaries from 2000. And this is where Combs expressed his dissatisfaction with Lopez having to perform a kiss scene in one of her movies, and she confessed he has a problem with stuff like that. So it was a little odd, but something else interesting happened. You fast forward to 2015, they'd already broken up, and this is when Jennifer Lopez appeared on the Wendy Williams show back in 2015.
I was telling you that I could always see you getting back with Puffy in a little wet.
I remember you said
yes.
that. Yes.
Or in my mind.
While entertainment industry controversies are not new, this specific instance illuminates the murky aspect of celebrity relationships and the lengths individuals would go to in order to preserve their public image. The FBI's involvement and potential legal ramifications make this a very explosive case.
Wright told us that J-Lo is going to be investigated with Diddy. Jaguar Wright said that Diddy and J-Lo are both going to be investigated for the 1999 nightclub shooting where the victim said that Diddy pow-powed her in the face. Jaguar Wright said that there was a Law & Order SUV episode that was made depicting the truth about what really happened that night at the nightclub and who was all involved, and how a rapper was made to take the fall even though it really wasn't him, and how they tried to get this woman away from having to testify. And she said that this episode depicted the truth about what really happened that night, and then Law & Order SUV took this episode down and then scrubbed it. So I went ahead and did a little bit of digging, and I did find out that there was a Law & Order episode called 3 Dog Night, Season 12, Episode 9, that was inspired by Diddy's involvement in the shooting-related investigation. So me being curious and wanting to watch this episode, I went ahead and did a little bit of research, and it said that I could watch the 3 Dogs Night episode on Peacock. So I went to Season 12, Episode 9, as you can see right here, and it says this is the episode called Gray. This episode is not the episode called 3 Dogs Night, which was honestly really weird, because why were they so adamant on taking this episode off the air? Jaguar Wright was saying that in this episode of Law & Order SVU that J-Lo was depicted as an actual accomplice and she was taking part in these crimes. So I went and did a little bit of digging because I found this super weird, and it said back in the day Lopez may have had a hand in Puffy's case, says an eyewitness. Jaguar Wright also said that in this episode that they were hiding the woman that was depicted to be J-Lo out, that way she wouldn't have to testify. And as you can see here, I pulled up another article. Lopez won't testify in Combs' gun trial. Jennifer Lopez says she will not take the stand at the weapons trial against former boyfriend and rap mogul Sean Puffy.
The public and media are drawn into the drama as the tale progresses. While some are suspicious since there isn't enough concrete proof at this time, others think the charges are real. The case emphasizes Hollywood's power structures and the how judgments made in the past may affect choices made in the present.
And now a lot of other clips of J-Lo's mom coming forward about how she would never allow it to her daughter to go back with him, as we just saw at the beginning of this video. This idea, could J-Lo have held the weapon in her purse in that club so he could get it in easier? That's always been the question. What did she know? Why did she get off so easily? Why is she not talking now? Why not express the whole frustration of what you did back then and throw this monster finally under the bus, or admit he didn't do it? It's very odd to me that she and so many others are staying silent now that so much is out there. Is she waiting for the guilty verdict? I just think it's a little too late, J-Lo. Now is your chance as you're trying to rebuild your brand. I know you were together, you had a history. Tell us the truth. I think at this point it's important you give us something to stand up for the victims and help put this away. Or are you complicit in it? And is that why you're silent? Look, I don't know. I want to know the truth, and that's why I find her silence to be definite.
Admirers are watching closely as Jennifer Lopez, who is renowned for her resilience and ability to face adversity, takes on one of her hardest PR tasks to date. They are interested in seeing how she manages the situation and if she can go on with her personal and professional endeavors while being closely watched.
Jennifer Lopez is opening up about life as a single woman. In a new interview with Nikki Glazer for Interview magazine, the singer addresses her split with Ben Affleck and how she's, quote, excited for this new chapter in her life, saying, "I'm not looking for anybody because everything I've done over the past 25, 30 years, being in these different challenging situations, what can I f***ing do when it's just me flying on my own? What if I'm just free?" As fans recall, J-Lo and Ben tied the knot in July of 2022. The actress filed to end their 2-year marriage on August 20th, with Jennifer listing the date of separation as April 26th. Admitting this new territory of being on her own can be, quote, a little scary, Jen emphasizes that the, quote, most important thing is the relationship with herself, which, quote, we tend to get away from at times when you're wrapped up with other people. She also notes that even though she labels herself as a romantic, quote, being in a relationship doesn't define her. Adding, for people who are romantics and love being in relationships and want to grow old with somebody, we think I have to have that to be whole and happy, and you don't. Going on to address the pain that came with her split from Ben, J-Lo still says she has no regrets about their love story. Quote, not 1 second. That doesn't mean it didn't almost take me out for good. It almost did. But now, on the other side of it, I think to myself, that is exactly.
The FBI raid and the speculated recordings have resurrected old episodes, which can have an effect on Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's present romance. The claims made against Diddy also make many wonder whether Jennifer Lopez was there at the 1999 nightclub incident. A complicated and multidimensional tale is created by all of these aspects.
Sir, Suge Knight. I mean, I tell you, we learn more from Suge Knight in prison than anybody else. Now, the former Death Row Records CEO, who's serving time for a fatal hit and run of one of his friends, quote, in 2015, says Affleck is now in possession of those tapes and that the information on them has played a crucial role in straining the couple's relationship.
Right now, everyone is watching J-Lo and Diddy to see how they respond to these startling accusations. The public and media will undoubtedly continue to dissect every aspect of this drama as it develops, maybe with the release of further material. It serves as a reminder of the intricate relationships that exist inside the entertainment business as well as the long-lasting effects of prior decisions. For now, that is all. Kindly feel free to express your opinions in the space provided for comments below. Click the bell icon to get updates in the future.